Hi, my name is Ashkar from Movin e-bikes. Today I'm going to assemble a mini folding bike from Movin, and let's get into it. In the box we have the bike. We have a small box here, and the bicycle is about 85-90% assembled. Inside this small box you have some tools. You have the front light, you have wheels here, tool sets, you can use this to assemble, and one air pump that comes with the bike. So to make it easier, we just need to take the front wheel off first. There are some zip ties, we just need to cut them. So it has some protective on each side to not scratch the frame. And we're gonna put this wheel aside for now. And saddle is right at the back. We're gonna need to put the saddle on so we can easily mount it on the. This bike is lightweighted, so you should be able to easily pull it up. From here we first remove all the packaging. Then I will show you how to install the front stem and handlebar, then the front wheel and the pedals and some air and check up, then we should be good to go. And so the stem, basically it's already folded down like this. It comes in the box like that. You would need to bring this up. There is a lever. There is a lock, so press the lock up to open it. Pull the lever back. It's on the open position. You can now straighten it. Then you need to press the lever back to its place. Here's a minimum insert. Make sure the maximum it's raised is up to here, not more, because it will not be safe. So this is the minimum insert. Now we're gonna, like other handlebars, we just need to open these screws, put the handlebar and tighten back. Here's a 4mm Allen key I need. There are small washers, make sure to not lose them. And now we can put the handlebar. So for this bike also we make sure that the wirings are straight and they're not twisted. As you can see, there are a couple of wires, the brake hose, and so make sure they are the straightest way possible. For example, sometimes they can be twisted like that, which will eventually cause these wires to break in cold and hot weather. So we need to make sure that they are very straight, and if it was not, you can just twist them like this and this to make sure it's on the right way. So right now I think this is so here it looks like the straightest possible. Now we need to put the stem facing mount. First, just like a slowly hand tight, gently. Don't force it because the threads might be not aligned. You need to try again, and it needs to go very easily inside. Once it's at this level, we're going to tighten each of them one by one, so we don't over tight one of them and prevent from getting these things off on the road. So at this level it's not tight. I just want to make sure that the angle of the brakes, especially this top, needs to be flat on the ground, which means this brake needs to be about 45 degrees lower than the handlebar. So it looks like it. I'm going to tighten the screws one by one. These are not very strong screws, so make sure you don't tighten them too much because they will get slipped. So it needs, if you have a torque wrench, you need to torque it up to 4 Nm each screw. Should be good. And sometimes this adjustment, which is a quick release for the height of this handle, it's loose. So for example, if it's from factory it's loose, make sure to first open it, tight this little screw from behind, and then when you want to tighten it, it needs to be should be solid and should not move under load. You do that. The next step would be to remove this extra piece that comes as a safety. So it's just easy, you can use your hand or some wrench. And again, there's a little brake spacer. You need to remove it before installing the wheel. If any time you're going to remove the wheel, make sure you insert this, so this will keep the even space between the brake pads. So here we have the front wheel. Comes with a very big 180mm disc rotor, and it will show that it has a very good stopping power. And use your hands to first open these nuts. You want to put it on, make sure the disc brake first goes into its place, which is inside the brake pads, and you can hold the wheel up and start tightening these nuts. First hand tight, then we're gonna make sure it's properly tightened. Make sure you use 2 wrenches to tighten both sides. If there was a little bit brake noise like this, there's probably 2 things. One is the rotor could be bent on the way, which if it was just like one spot, for example like this, you can see from top. If it's touching the left side, you're gonna push the rotor this way to the right. If it was touching on the right, you're gonna push that spot on the left side. So let's put the fenders on now. So unlike the other bikes that we have, this fender goes from behind, so from front. It's just the design the way it is. It's not gonna come from behind. You need to put it from, there's the screw. We need to open that first. We need to take the light and we will get it onto the fender. Then we need to insert this from here. Here's a little bit tricky part. Just need to press this in. Now we need to put this into the hole, and the nut goes from behind. You need a 5mm Allen key or Hex key and a 10mm wrench to hold the nut from behind. We can do just like a small hand tight first. Once it's a little bit tight, you can align the brake and the fender position. We need to hold the fender up because there's adjustability. If it's too low, it might touch the wheel once there's mud or snow. So make sure it's all the way up. I'm tightening the nut from behind. So once it's tight, you can change the position of it a little bit by moving the whole thing left or right. Okay. Now it's on the sides. There is this part which you need to undo the screw, put it from here and install it. We're not gonna tighten this too much. First we need to put the other side as well, and we make sure it's straight, the fender, and we're holding them at the middle. Then we're going to tighten it about 3 to 4 Nm torque. It should be fine. We're going to need to put the pedals, and this one we need to apply a little bit grease here. It has right hand side and left hand side. Right will goes on the drive side, which is where the belt and the drivetrain is. And first we're gonna apply some grease, and it shows how to tighten. It's a clockwise, so we need to tighten it this way, clockwise. And the other side, which is the left side, it says counterclockwise, which means if it's here, we need to tighten it counterclockwise from the left side. Let's apply some grease. When you put the grease, it will make sure that the pedal doesn't come off, and also it doesn't get seized if you need to change them in future, because the bearings on the pedals can wear out after a couple of 1,000 kilometers. You might need to replace them. Again, we try with hands first. then we can use a 15mm wrench to tighten them properly. So this one, it should tighten counterclockwise. First I'm gonna try with my hands. If it didn't go easily inside, make sure to remove it. Try again, because sometimes the threads might not be aligned. Now we're going to put some air in the tires and put this front light wire into its place. So you can do the wire first. It has a special shape and it has upside down, so make sure it's the right way before you're pushing it too hard. It should be fine. So as you see, this bike is foldable, and there is a lever. You just need to pull that up, bring this on the side, and again pull it up. Once you pull, it will do a click, then you can fold the frame. When also you want to install it, it will not go in unless you pull this up and press and bring this at the front. Then you're going to tighten the quick release. Again, you can remove this, bring it on the side, pull it up, it folds. When you wanna fold it, make sure the pedals doesn't come on the way of the frame, and you will fold it just like this. In the meantime, you can bring the saddle height low, and on the other side you have the stem, which you can, there's a small lever, press that up, hold it, bring this lever back. Now it's on open position. Now you can actually, now it's completely folded. If I need to hold it and bring it somewhere, I would take from the rear rack, and with one hand it's very easy to move it around. There's one more thing you can do, which the battery will save about 7-8 pounds, or about 3.5-4 kilograms. You can remove that. It will save some weight, so you can easily move this and put behind your car, at the trunk, or anywhere you want. So to unfold it, you will just bring this here. Make sure that the wires are not getting pinched, and here, lever up, bring the lever at the front, then tight. Here just make it straight, and lever tight. Here you have your battery, which you can remove it. You need to press, like you need to twist it and push it a little bit up, then it pops. When you want to put it on, make sure these edges align with here. Once they're aligned for on both sides, then press it a little bit down. You don't need this key all the time. You would only need it to remove the battery. So if you remove the battery, your bike will save more weight if you wanna move it anywhere. So it's pretty light. Also, when you want to put the battery, there's two places you can do easily. One would be to remove this saddle, remove the key, try one hand under this, one hand on top. You can do this, it's easier. The other way would be to do it from the non-drive side. You wouldn't be able to do from here because there's belt and drive side. So try like only from left side. Align the edges here. Once they're aligned both sides, just press down a little bit, it will do a click. Then it's secure. Also, when you want to charge it, you can directly plug the charger in here, and the charger indicator has like a light, which when it's green it means it's fully charged or it's not charging anymore. When it's red, it's still charged. Also here you can see, so there is the battery power level. You can refer to this to see how much battery is left, or also you can see it on the screen for more accurate precision. For the saddle, there's an insert, minimum insert, so make sure it's at least inserted this much. If you would do it more, it's better, up to you, but at least it should be inserted by this line. Okay, so how to power this on? There is a button under it. You will need to press and hold it for a few seconds. Now it's on. So on default, the throttle will go up to max speed, even if the level is on 1 or 0. This one is separate. So that's the max speed all the time, anytime. Here is for your pedal assist. So right now it's on 1, which is the lowest, but there is also the 0. It's now like a regular bike. So when you pedal, it just feels like it's just natural bike without any electricity. Level 1 would be a little bit of assist, up to about 15 kilometers. And level 5 is the highest. It's the max speed you can get. And you have a bell here. You have tick-through hydraulic brakes again, which has a sensor. When you brake, the rear light turns on and it cuts the electricity, so there's no power. If mistakenly you press the pedal, for example, it will save you from unwanted movement. For the light, you have to press and hold this plus button. If you press and hold for 2-3 seconds, the light will turn on, and you can turn off the same way. Press and hold the plus button. For walk assist, you need to press and hold the minus button. It will assist you at a level of 5 kilometers per hour. This is if you need to walk somewhere really uphill with the bike or on the stairs. It can be useful. And on the electric components, you have display here, wiring, you have the battery at the back, you have the 350 watt motor here, you have brakes with sensor, lights front and rear, and you have pedal assist here. Controller is right under this battery, so it's attached to the battery right here. That's very simple and easy to use, and it's a very lightweight bike. We have a belt drive here, which is a carbon belt drive. So typically this belts will last 2-3 times more than a regular chain, and it makes the bike also low maintenance. For example, you don't need to put any lube there, you don't need to do any cleaning because it's very clean, no lube, nothing. Once it's worn out, let's say after 10 to 15,000 kilometers, then you will just simply replace that. And it's single speed, which makes the bike it's a very good gearing ratio too. It's about like 16 to 52 teeth, so it's very good, about 25 to 32 kilometers per hour, very easily pedaling, and it's very lightweighted. So as you see, this is a very lightweighted bicycle, which you can easily use it for daily commute or getting some even groceries, because it has a rear rack which is capable of 25 kg, so you can put something there. Even like probably you can put a child seat there, and you can take your child outside. Yeah, it's very nice bike, easy to use in the city. Mostly you can use for daily commute. I use it every day, and this is the perfect bike because you can store it everywhere. If you live in a small apartment or condo, you can take it inside, or you can put it in the car's trunk. Really easy, just fold it, put it there, easy to use. And thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful to how to assemble your bicycle.